off. Unless you happen to be attending this particular training through your phone, in which case, don't turn it off, right? Make sure that your doors to where you're training are closed. Make sure all pets are out of the room. Believe me, pets love this stuff. And if they feel the energy start to change in the room, they will be all over you. Okay? Make sure your children and spouses and significant others know not to freaking bother you. Okay? This is your time. Right? So if that's all done, if you haven't gone to the potty, when would now be a good time? And a whole bunch of things just blanked out. All right. For the rest of you, put your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes and sit for a spell. Take a deep breath in and let that breath out with a sigh. Deeper and deeper with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. Just let go. Just let go. Now, in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to focus all of your attention on the lids of your eyes. I'm going to ask you to begin to relax those tiny muscles in your eyelids. I'd like you to relax them more and more and more until they're so relaxed, so fully, so completely relaxed that they just don't want to work anymore. And when you're satisfied, you're convinced, they're so relaxed, they just don't want to work anymore. All I want you to do is give them a quick test just to be sure. And when you're satisfied, go ahead and stop testing and allow, if you will, that level of relaxation to flow from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, deeper and deeper with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. I just want you to relax. Let go. Listen to the sound of my voice. Any sounds that you hear other than the sound of my voice, well, they're simply the sounds of our natural environment, yours and mine. They're not going to disturb you. They're not going to distract you in any way. In fact, all they're going to do is signal you, remind you, reinforce inside your mind, body, and soul the fact that you're completely safe. That no matter how far inside you travel, no matter how deep inside you go, you will always, always, always be able to hear my words, follow my instructions, obey my commands, because you realize that everything I say and everything I do, well, it's for you, to give you the life and the lifestyle that you want, the way that you want it, by your standards and your definitions. Now, in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to focus all of your attention once again on the lids of your eyes. And this time I want you to spread the relaxation in your eyes, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes and all points in between. And I'm going to ask you to begin to relax your mind just as deeply as we've been relaxing your body. And we're going to do that in a very, very special way. In a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to begin to imagine the alphabet, if you will, backwards, starting with the letter Z. With each and every breath you take and each and every beat of your heart, starting with the letter Z, all I want you to do is relax those letters completely out of your mind. Allow them, if you will, to become smaller, darker, and harder to see. Turn the volume all the way down, 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 deeper and deeper, down, down, down. Now, obviously, I can't do this for you. Only you have that power. Only you can. Allow this to happen. And when you know they're gone, and you're as deeply relaxed in your mind as you are in your body, all I want you to do is allow your head to nod with honest, unconscious movements to let me know. And we'll continue with the next part of our process. Drifting, dreaming, floating. Smaller and darker. Harder to see. Turning the volume all the way down. Down. Perfect. And when you know they're gone, you can just let your head nod. And we'll continue. Fantastic. Now, as we continue to move through this process together, many of you will be right with me in perfect time. Some of you who know this process may find yourself moving ahead, anticipating what I'm going to say next. Others, especially those of you for whom this is the first time, may be a little bit behind, a little bit slower in how you process. Rest assured that if you're unconscious, you can hear me, you're unconscious, you can follow my instructions easily, naturally, automatically, without any conscious effort on your part. All you have to do is relax, let go, and let your unconscious now do the job, follow the instructions, and obey the commands. Now, in a moment, we're going to play a little bit of an imagination game, if you will. It's a game that I play with all my clients, all my students, because I'm always very curious about how we do things inside your mind, body, and soul. So I'm going to ask you in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, to imagine something for me. I'm wondering if you might be able to imagine a place, a wonderful place, a beautiful place, a favorite place, if you will, a place that to you is so nurturing, so nourishing, so supporting and fulfilling, so healing, so loving, forgiving, pleasurable, protective. A place that is so wonderfully, magically positive, so perfectly and totally safe, that no negativity of any kind could exist here for even a fraction of a second without being immediately vaporized or turned into its opposite. I'm curious, I'm wondering if you could imagine what a place like that might be like. I mean, I'm wondering, what might you be seeing when you're in that place? What might you be hearing? What might you be smelling? And what might you be tasting? Because when you do that, when you're in that place and you see what you see and you hear what you hear and you smell and you taste what you smell and you taste, well, there's an amazing, wonderful feeling that you get. A feeling that lets you know you are truly safe. And I'd like you to notice, I'd like you to become aware, realize, if you will, that there's a place in your body where those amazing, irresistible feelings start, where they grow, where they spread from. Take a moment. Notice where you feel that and point to it. And I'd like you to notice as you become aware of that space, that there's a color, maybe even a series of colors connected to those amazing feelings. I'm curious, I'm wondering what color or colors that might be for you. First impression. Now, you don't have to tell me what it is, but whatever it is, imagine a brilliant ball of that energy floating above your head. Notice how the feelings in your body shift and change. As with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, that ball of energy begins to grow, begins to expand, begins to fill the entire room from floor to ceiling, from wall to wall, and all points in between. Notice how it wraps itself around you like an amazing blanket of safety, protection, healing, and forgiveness. A cocoon, a shield, a suit of armor, insulating you, protecting you from all negativity, all threats, real or imagined, while at the same time flooding your mind, flooding your body, flooding your spirit with everything it most wants, everything it most needs in an infinite, ever expanding and unlimited supply. And when you know you've got that, breathe those amazing colors through your entire being. Let it fill you up like water fills up a bottle, like fluid fills up a test tube, like hot air or helium fills up a balloon. Anchor it in so fully, so completely. No force in the universe can turn it off or take it away. Not even you. Take all the time you need to let that process lock in. And when you know it's done, it's locked in, test it. Try to turn it off. Try to take it away. Try to imagine some force outside of yourself trying to make it go away. And notice what happens instead. When you're satisfied, only when you're satisfied, stop testing and allow that energy to double and triple in size and strength. Double and triple in force and magnitude, flowing through you and expanding outward into the infinite universe, like a tap's been turned on and left running. And just dissolve into it. Let go. Just let go. Now, in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to scan your body one more time. And I'd like you to notice any place in your body where you're holding on to any form of density or tightness or tension. You see, as we move through this video game called life, we encounter situations and circumstances that we didn't know how to deal with, we weren't ready for, that overwhelmed us physically, mentally, emotionally, professionally. And what's interesting is that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, built into each and every one of us a special set of mechanisms that were designed to go into operation, to activate spontaneously in those times of overwhelm, those times where our boundaries, physical, mental, emotional, were crossed, violated, overwhelmed in some way. And like I mentioned before in that old Ghostbusters film, in that moment, those mechanisms go into operation. It grabs all those feelings, all those memories, sucks it into a little box, and sticks it in the hard drive we call the body. Kind of like an antivirus grabs a file that it can't quite get rid of yet because it needs the next software upgrade, and it quarantines that file somewhere on your hard drive, or it's just there held in safekeeping until the next software upgrade comes in. And with that upgraded program, we can now delete all those files easily, effortlessly, and automatically because we have the skills, the knowledge, the expertise, and the technology to make that happen. Now, as you scan your body and you become aware of those places of density or tightness and tension, which are indicative of those files that need to be dissolved and resolved from the body, all I want you to do every time you find one is breathe your all-powerful, safe energy through those areas. Let it flow in, around, over, and through those areas like hot water flowing over an ice cube. Notice how those areas begin to melt and dissolve away. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the body. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the mind for all the right reasons. And flowing into those spaces where those old memories, those old containers used to be, flows everything you most need and want and desire in step. There's no need to measure it, manage it, or make it happen faster. Just notice that process taking birth. Allow all those files to melt and dissolve away. The ones you consciously remember, the ones you consciously understand, and even more importantly, my friend, the ones you unconsciously remember, the ones you unconsciously understand, the hidden files, the secrets, the memories that were installed in you without your conscious knowledge, without your conscious awareness, the ones that sometimes cause you to do or say things you don't want to do or say. And maybe even more importantly, the ones that hold you back, the ones that cause you to not say the things you know you need to say and not do the things you know you need to do that are the right thing to do. They're all locked in there too. And as this all-powerful safe energy flows through your mind, through your body, through your spirit body, through your energy body, through your physical body, through the spaces and the quantum levels of each and every cell, it seeks out every place in your mind, every place in your spirit, every place in your energy body and your soul where you're harboring any of that stuff. It flows into those areas and begins to dissolve, resolve, and solve it from the body. Solve, dissolved, and resolved from the mind for all the right reasons, flowing out of your body, deep into the earth, replacing it with amazing, wonderful things that you want instead. So take all the time you need to let that process happen. Many times as new energy works our way through our system, we go through all kinds of interesting changes and transformations. Some people break out in a sweat. Some people laugh. Some people yawn. Some people cry. Some people twitch. Some people sneeze. Some people even fart from time to time. And that's okay. Because however your body responds is exactly how your body does it. There's no need to measure it or manage it and make it happen faster. Just allow that process to happen fully and completely. Now, as that process continues, because your unconscious mind is so good at doing multiple things at the same time, you can allow yourself to just let go while your unconscious continues to follow my instructions. Now, many times my clients report that as this new energy works its way through their system, they begin to feel little pops or the sound of locks breaking. If you ever heard the sound of a padlock unlocking, manacles shattering, it's almost like the bonds, the boundaries, the blocks that have been keeping a fragment of your pure, true potential locked in your body. It's almost as if those things just completely dissolve away and you feel yourself floating up out of your body. It's not just a floating up and out, it's an expansion, if you will. They often report a feeling of floating up out of their physical body, up into that amazing cloud of safe energy, into that special place. Like a drop of water merging back into the ocean from which it came, they feel a sense of reunion, reconnection of the higher, bigger, cosmic part of themselves. Now, they still have this idea of who they are as a person, but the scope and the competency and the magnitude of what that is grows exponentially as they merge deeper and deeper into this space, dissolving into it. Many of my students often report that they just find themselves expanding exponentially bigger and wider, feeling themselves becoming freer and lighter and lighter. As they go deeper and deeper into that place, they often report what look like stars off in the distance. And as they look at those stars, they often report that one star seems to shine a little bit brighter than the rest. It seems to sparkle and twinkle a little bit more enthusiastically. And for some mysterious reason, they often find themselves fixing on that one star, finding their mind, their emotion, their attention drawn to it. And as they focus that attention, they find themselves being pulled towards it in a gentle, loving way. And they report, it's kind of strange what they actually report as they move towards that star off in the distance. I don't know if you've ever seen a little puppy dog when its master's about to come home from work, about to walk through that door, master or mistress. It's like puppies almost have a sixth sense. It's like they know when you're about to walk in that door, and they start to get really happy. They start to get really excited because they know the person they love most is going to walk through that door at any moment, and they just can't contain themselves. Many of my students, and you might discover this for yourself, find that as they get closer and closer to that star, well, just like the proverbial puppy, that little star begins to grow bigger, brighter. It begins to twinkle and sparkle more and more enthusiastically, more and more excitedly. And you realize it's because it loves you. It misses you. At the person it's wanted to see the most finally coming. And as you get closer and closer, and that star grows bigger and brighter until it completely takes up your field of vision, you begin to notice beams of starlight emanating from that amazing star. And every place those star beams touch, you feel a cleansing, a purging, a purification. Kind of like when you come home from a long, hard, hot day at the office and you drop off all your clothes, you get in that shower and you turn on that water, and that water washes over you, washing away all the stress, all the strain, all the grime, all the less than positive beliefs, memories, and experiences, all the stuff you've been carrying around. As those star beams begin to wash over and around you and through you, every place those star beams touch, you feel a cleansing, a refreshing, an invigoration, if you will. And as you go bigger and brighter towards that star, and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter, you can notice something interesting, that no matter how big that star becomes, no matter how brightly it shines, you can always look comfortably inside with complete safety, feeling empowered, competent, worthy in all the right ways. Now, naturally, at some point, we find ourselves passing through that beautiful glowing portal. And as we do, as you do, you may notice what feels like a fine mesh filter passing through your physical body, your energy body, your spirit body, and your soul, filtering away anything that is the less than perfect you. And as you emerge on the other side of that portal, only the very best version of yourself passes in. And as you allow that process to happen, and you find yourself on the other side, you find yourself in an interesting place. Perhaps for some of you, a very familiar place. A dome-shaped room with pearly gray walls, kind of like being inside of a large gray egg. As you look around the room, you notice some interesting things. In the center of the room is a beautiful circular fireplace with a glowing, radiant fire that beams energy and warmth and safety and comfort and support and nurturing and nourishment and vitality. And you can feel, as that energy washes over you, how all the cells of your body respond and drink it in, like a flower opening up to absorb the life-giving rays of the sun and the stars and the rain. You can feel every level of your mind, body, and soul drinking in that amazing nourishment, surrendering to it completely. You may even feel yourself growing physically taller, bigger, stronger, more filled with vital energy, more rejuvenated, more competent, more certain in every way. And as you look around the room, you can notice what on the wall looks like colored squares. And the intuitive part of you instantly recognizes that one set of squares represents all the amazing things about you, all the traits and qualities and attributes and memories and life experiences that make you awesome, that make you the very best version of yourself humanly and maybe superhumanly possible. All the secret identities and thoughts and beliefs and memories, conscious or unconscious, that automatically activate whenever you need to bring your very best, whenever you need to come out on top, whenever you need to have those hold my beer moments and come out as a winner. These are the skills, qualities, traits, and attributes that allow you to prevail, to win, to accomplish the goal in perfect flow. Traits and qualities you consciously remember, traits and qualities you consciously understand, but even more importantly, the traits, qualities, and attributes that you don't consciously or not consciously aware of, that you may not consciously understand, but they're still there supporting you, guiding you, and allowing you to win. They're represented by one set of squares, colored squares on that wall. Now, those other squares, well, they represent all that other stuff. All those things that are less than positive. The things that hold you back, the things that limit you, the things that make you feel less than confident, less than worthy, that cause you to say or do things you don't want to do, or to not say or not do the things you know you need or want to do. The things you consciously remember, the things you consciously understand, and the things you unconsciously remember, the things you unconsciously understand. And as you look around this room and you notice the difference between the things that make you powerful and the things that hold you back, one thing becomes obviously true. That if it's in that room, if it's on that wall, it has been vetted and tagged as approved for change and transformation. And we're going to do that now. In a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to go over to that one of those walls, reach out and touch one of those colored squares that represents a less than positive belief or memory or experience. As you reach out and touch it with one hand, I want you to notice that there's a place in your body where the feelings connected to that colored square are stored, where they grow, where they spread from. Take a moment, notice where you feel that, and with your other hand, point to it. That's right. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, I want you to rip that puppy right off the wall, crumple it in your hand. As you crumple it in your hands, notice how the feelings in your body shift and change as all the connections, all the control, all the influence that stuff has ever had over your mind, body, soul, spirit, any relevance or importance it's ever had in your life at all begins to break up and dissolve, impossible to come back. And when you're ready to finally get rid of it, to finally be free of it, I want you to walk over to that fire pit and throw that shit in the fire. Whoosh. Feel the rush. Feel the release as that fire doubles in size and strength, doubles in force and magnitude. Feel the energy rush up out of the fireplace, flowing over and around and through your body into that space where that old feeling used to be, and flowing into that space flows everything you most need and want and desire instead. There's no need to measure it, manage it, or make it happen faster. Just notice that process taking place. Allow it to install and resolve itself completely, whole and total. And when you know it's done, it's locked in, test it. Try to bring those old feelings back. Try to turn those new feelings off. And notice what happens instead. When you're satisfied, and only when you're satisfied, stop testing. Scan your body. Notice how different you feel. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, I want you to walk up to another one of those colored squares that needs to go bye-bye. Reach out and touch it. Notice where in your body you feel it. Point to it with the other hand. And just like before, that sucker off the wall, crumple it up in your hands. As you crumple it up, feel all the connections, all the control, inside and outside, all relevance and importance in your life, breaking up, dissolving, resolving from your mind, resolving from your body,
resolving from your spirit and your soul. And when you're ready, bam, into the fire it goes. Whoosh. Feel the rush. Feel the release. Feel it burning away as everything you want and desire instead flows into that space in perfect proportion. As it comes up, it comes out. As you feel it, you reveal it. As you reveal it, you heal it. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the body. That's right. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the mind for all the right reasons. There's no need to measure it, manage it, or make it happen faster. Just notice that process taking place. Allow it to run its course fully, completely, whole, and total. When you know it's done, it's locked in. Test it. Try to bring the old feeling back. Try to turn the new feeling off. And notice what happens instead. As that new program begins to process out, you may notice your body's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Some people laugh, some people yawn, some people cry, some people twitch. Some people get cold, some people get hot, some people get tingly, some people get numb, some people sneeze, belch. Every bodily function is entirely possible. And it's okay, because that's just how your body does it. Allow it to happen. Let it go. Let your body do what it knows how to do oh so well. Because as it comes up, it comes out. As you feel it, you reveal it. As you reveal it, you heal it. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the body. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the mind. For all the right reasons. Your reasons. Take all the time you need. When you're ready, only when you're ready, reach out. Touch another one of those colored squares that's ready to go. And notice that there's a place in your body where that feeling is stored. And just like before, rip that sucker right off the wall, unput it up in your hands. This is you taking back your life, taking charge of your power, stepping into your full potential, and letting go of the chains and the blocks that bind you. Crumple that shit up, break it up, dissolve it, have it lose all influence, all relevance, all importance in your life now and forever. And when you're ready, fire it goes. Whoosh. Feel the rush. Feel the release. Feel your body changing, transforming, letting go. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the body. Solved, dissolved, and resolved from the mind for all the right reasons. As it comes up, it comes out. As you feel it, you reveal it. As you reveal it, you heal it. Take all the time you need to let that process take place. Whole and total, fully and completely. And doing great. Just keep going. When you know it's done, you can just nod your head to let me know. And we'll continue with the next part of it. That's it. The eyes are going to keep going. No rush. This is all for you. Excellent. Now, some of you are experts at this. You've been to the gray room many times. You know exactly how things work. For those of you who know how it works, you know what comes next. For the rest of you, this is where the fun starts. Because you know how this process works. At the rate and speed that you're comfortable, I want you to go through every nook and cranny of this room. I want you to examine every colored square and anything that needs to go into that fire. I want you to reach out and touch it, lift it off that wall, crumple it in your hands, break up all the connections and control and influence it ever had over your life. Walk over to the fire and in the fire it goes. Make sure you look underneath all the positive stuff, because sometimes that negative shit gets misfiled. And however you want to do it, you want to do it one at a time, you do that. There's a couple other options that are available to do this. One of my clients, she had so much stuff, she brought in a leaf blower, blew all that shit right into the fire. My friend James, he was a Harry Potter fan, so he would whip out his Harry Potter magic wand and make all that shit dance into the fire. Another one of my female clients, she was an entrepreneur. She had her own business. So she brought in all her personal assistants to come in and rip the shit off the walls for her. They'd rip it off the wall. They'd show it to her. She'd sign off on it and they'd throw it in the fire for her. One guy had so much shit, he didn't even try to pull the shit off the walls. He just brought in a flamethrower and burned it all. However you want to do it, in whatever way, method gives you the greatest sense of release, transformation, purification. If you want to rip it off one at a time, go for it. You want to burn it off with a flamethrower, that's fine. You want to bring in a gigantic paper shredder or a wood chipper and throw that shit in there, that's all good. Take all the time you need now in the next few moments to fully and completely, whole and total, burn all that shit up. Now and forever. When you know it's done, only when you know it's done, you can just sit quietly and enjoy the peace. And when everybody's caught up, we'll continue with the next part of our process. Excellent. Guys are doing great. Now, when that last colored square goes into the flames and that energy surges into your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit, something wonderful begins to happen. The fire begins to double in size and strength, double in force and magnitude, brighter and brighter and brighter. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember the old Iron Man movie, but Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, he had this thing called an arc reactor that he kept in his chest. And this little thing was the size of a tennis ball, and it could power multiple cities. It was so strong, so powerful. I want you to notice how the feelings in your body shift and change as you notice rising up out of that fire is a brilliant ball of scintillating white divine energy. And it radiates a power and a radiance and a frequency that activates, stimulates, elevates every aspect of your mind, your body, your soul. And I want you to notice how the feelings in your body shift and change as that glowing divine sphere begins to move towards your body, towards your heart. And as it approaches your heart, almost like a space was there all the time. You feel a little door open up. And that amazing, brilliant, divine energy flows into that space like a plug into an outlet. And you can feel that divine energy surging through your mind, surging through your body, surging through your energy, through your spirit body, through your soul, and into the infinite void, burning away any blockages, any beliefs, any memories, any experiences that are not in harmony with the perfect version of yourself that you came here to express, amplifying, elevating, accelerating your energy, accelerating your vitality, returning your body to a state of optimal health or even better. And there's nothing you need to do except enjoy it, expand, and allow. Take all the time you need to let that process lock in completely now. Feel yourself emanating, expanding outward in all directions. Hey, and realize that for as long as your heart continues to beat, and your lungs continue to breathe, this power, this force will always be with you, growing stronger, more powerful, more unstoppable, more transformational, protective, nurturing, and nourishing in every possible way, every single day, for now and forever. And anytime you want to, anytime you need to, you can come back to this place to do more stuff, to explore and inquire and experiment and discover more of who and what you truly are, to discover and explore your power, your purpose, your pleasure. It's just beginning and it only gets better. Now, in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, we're going to begin the process of coming back to this place we call reality, bringing with us a very different one, embodying the master keys to transforming our world. Because as the ancient masters like to say, as above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. And that's what you are. That's who you are. Remember who you are. Number one, feel yourself returning to this place we call reality, bringing with you a deeper one, expanded. Number two, all of my suggestions and directions from me to you, and you to your own other than conscious mind are now 10 times more powerful, 100 times more permanent, 1,000 times more thrilling, fulfilling, and satisfying than ever before. Embraced, held, locked in to that part of your mind, body, and soul that most wants, desires, can implement, facilitate, perceive, believe, manifest, and achieve all of these changes in all of the ways that give you the life that you want, the way that you want it, by your standards and your definition. Number three, because there's always at least 3 ways to overcome any situation, obstacle, or circumstance that you may face. There's always at least 3 solutions to any problem you need to solve. And from this moment forward, your all-powerful other than conscious mind will now easily, effortlessly, and automatically generate those solutions and implement them in the quickest, easiest, most effective way for the good of yourself and all concerned. Number 4, because it's all for you. You've made the investment. You've made the journey. You've done the work. You followed the instructions. You obeyed the commands. You tested the results. And you've most certainly earned the rewards and the right to keep them. It's your reality. It's your truth. It's your life. And you get to live it to the fullest. Starting now. On the next count, you can emerge from this process like a phoenix rising from the ashes, like a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. One phase of your transformation complete. The next phase, the best phase, just beginning. Ready to spread your wings, take to the air, to soar amongst the clouds, to experience life, the universe, and everything in it from a much higher place. More enlightened perspective. Head clear, mind clear, heart clear, soul clear, thinking, feeling, acting with self-assurance, feeling good all over, glad to be alive and ready to thrive. Number 5, take your time, come on back. Notice how good you feel. Okay.